Time to show you guys what I've been collecting behind the scenes. Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again thanks for stopping by. So I've got another golden era of RC video for you, and this time it's the mortars. I love my vintage brush mortars, as I think the majority of you guys know. They were just so cool. But now I'm talking Tamiya initially. They came in boxes like this. Again, absolutely class. All the all the artwork just same as the kit boxes, but in this dinky box with all the tooling and stuff. Obviously, this one's a Tamiya Techni Gold, and this is my mint one that I've got. Yeah, I don't think this one's ever been run. So what I've been doing behind the scenes that I've kept quite quiet is I've been putting together for myself a vintage brushed motor collection, and it's pretty much there. I'm not after collecting every motor I can get my hands on, but there were the early Tamiya ones, and I've collected quite a lot, as you're going to see, which I had to have. And as I've got some newer brush mortars, right up to modern day brush mortars to show you. So in this video we're going to do something a little bit different. The first thing I'm going to do, in fact before I do that, let me get some thank yous out of the way. So a massive thank you to Miles Simpson, Duncan McGregor, and again to Graham Milligan. I've bought quite a few motors off these guys, know them really well, 100% gentlemen, and they've sold, the three of them have sold me some pretty epic motors that you're going to see. And also shout out to eBay, because eBay still works. Anyway, but at the end of this video, I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you first of all some Zippo lighter acrylic holders that I've bought. It's the actual lighter holder, but they work really well for motors. I didn't invent this, I wasn't the first one to use them, all the motor collectors use them, but I thought I'll just show it to you guys. They're cheap as chips and they do the job perfectly. Then I'll show you some acrylic 3-step stand that I've bought to fit in the glass cabinets downstairs. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all the motors. I'll do that as quick as I can because there's quite a few to get through. And I'll just give you the basic specs. What will I give you? I'll tell you the year it was released. I'll give you the RPM, and I'll give you the turns, the wind of the motors. I'll just give you those three things. Now please remember, when I'm putting out RPM figures, these are under no load and based at 7.2 NiCad. Yeah, so don't read too much into them. But it's what obviously the Tamiya and the other manufacturers stated. And then once we've got through the motors, we'll build that stand up and we'll get it transferred downstairs, and you'll see in real time with me what this new motor collection is going to look like in my glass cabinets, and I'm proper excited about that. As I say, I've had these motors lying round all over because I had to make this video, but I've only just got the last piece of a jigsaw in. And in fact, at the end of the video I'll show you one more motor that I've just found, which is one that's got a special link to me from back in the day that I used to run. Yeah, I'll do that at the end of the video because I've got so much to get through. So yeah, this is a proper golden era of RC video. So yeah, let's get into this. Right, so first thing to show you are these motor holders. Now again, these are Zippo lighter stands. You get them off eBay, and I got 15 of them for like £8 shipped, so the cheapest chips. Now, there's actually two ways of displaying your motor, which is cool because I didn't actually realise at the time. So the way I was going to do it was like that, and as you can see, it's all rock solid. I seem to be a little bit far away from the camera, I do apologise. But yeah, I thought that's how I want to display them. But in actual fact, you can stand them up, and that looks way better, doesn't it? So I'm probably gonna, and obviously spacing wise, when you've got quite a few, it makes sense to have them stood up, and they're not as secure, but they're not going to go anywhere. So yeah, I'm really loving those stands. And then next up is this three-step acrylic stand that I've bought. So I just need to put that together. But I've they come in all different sizes. Again, got this off eBay from China. Think it cost me about £14 shipped. So again, not a lot of money. And I know already how cool it's going to look when the motors are sat on there. But yeah, just a little bit of building to do. So we'll leave that to the end. So now what I'm going to do is just go through all the motors, and I'll do it as quick as I can because I know that could be quite boring until we get to the juicy stuff towards the end. I'll do it in date range, and I'll start with the most modern ones. But I can tell you we're going to end back up at 1984, which is pretty cool. Right guys, let's get into this. So at the early stages, I'll try to do 2 or 3 motors at a time to save a little bit of time. So again, you're going to get the year, what the motor is, the wind, and then a rough sort of RPM of each motor, which again is rated at under no load and at 7.2 volt. So and I'll always go from left to right as well. So the first one, I'm just marking, these are modern day brush motors that you can buy. Which is mega cool. So from left to right, I'm saying that all 3 of them are 2018. So we've got the Orion SV, which is a 13 triple, round about 30,000 RPM. Then in the middle we've got an LRP V10. Now that's a 14 double, and that's very close to 40,000 RPM. And then we've got the Yokomo T5 10 double, and that's round about 48,000 RPM. That is a madman. Right, next up, 2017 Bigwig motor. Now, that is a 2017 because it came with a Bigwig kit, but that motor is actually the standard Tamiya GT Tune 25 turn, and that came out way earlier, so I haven't actually got a year for that. It's a 25 single, and it runs at about 19,000 RPM. In the middle, we have the gorgeous Tamiya Superstock BZ. That's a 23 single, and that knocks out round about 26,500 RPM. Then is the first of my special motors. So this is a Team Orion V10. This particular one is a 10 single, and it's estimated around about 45,000 RPM. Could actually be more, and that's the actual Mark Reinhard World's Edition motor. That's a very cool motor to have. Right, next up from 2004 is the Tamiya Superstock TZ motor. Again, 23 single, 26,500 RPM. Next to, again, 2004 RZ this time. Same wind, 23 single, but knocks out 27,500 RPM. And the coolest thing for me now is this is the first time I've ever had all 3 of the Superstock TZ, RZ and BZ motors. I kind of think that's pretty cool, to be honest. Right, here's another special one. So this is from 2002, and it's the Tamiya Superstock, but it's the Type S. This is again a 23 single, and this knocks out 27,500 RPM. And it's the first time I've ever had this particular motor, and it's a brand spanker. And obviously, with it now being 2002, it's got that bit of age that makes it a little bit more sought after. And again, lucky enough to have the box and the instructions with it. Right, here we have a 2002 pink Actopower motor. Now, this is a motor that's from the 2001 Riri Dynastorm. So it's a pretty cool motor. Now, please don't get mistaken, this should have just been a pink can only. I fitted an MCI Actopower decal on it before I got hold of the original. So again, as I say, this is actually, let me just, is it a double? Yeah, this is a 14 double. The RPM on this particular motor is unknown. It's not rebuildable. It's supposed to be in a Superstock style can. But it's got bushes, it's not bearing, again it's not a modified motor. But the cool thing about it is, apart from it being the Riri Dynastorm motor, is that it actually has the genuine 14 double Actopower rotor in it. But why they didn't make it rebuildable and put bearings in it, I'm really not sure. But nevertheless, it's still a cool motor to have. And here's a special one for me. But I've had a lot of these motors in the past, but again, now I've got hold of them. So this is a Tamiya super modified motor from 2001. This is an 11 double, and it is around about 38,000 RPM. As you expect, full modified motor, bearings, adjustable timing. I've run these before, and they are ballistic, and it's not a bad looking thing either. Now we're having a big leap in the years. So sorry, I've just lost my position on my page. So this is from 1993, and this is of course the Tamiya TRF Actor tuned motor. This motor's a 12 double and estimated 32,400 RPM. It's a cracking looking motor. It's very different. And it's a good looking thing, no decal on it anywhere. Again, obviously fully modified. Again, not too sure what it was designed for, whether it was off-road or touring car, not sure. And as you know, these things are getting rare and getting rather costly now. Right, now we're down to, this is 1992, and this is a genuine original pink Actor Power motor for the two-wheel drive cars. As I said earlier, it's a 14 double. With an estimated 30,000 RPM. Again, we've got box and instructions for this one, which just makes it mega cool, and it's another mint condition motor. And then we have a true classic. So now we're jumping down to 1990, and obviously this is a Tamiya Sports tuned. Again, a 23 single, knocks out about 18,300 RPM. Genuine original this. Obviously, they redo these now, but I got this particular motor in a vintage, what was it? A Stadium Thunder, I think it was. So I know it's got the genuine age of 1990. So that's a really cool thing to have. Right, now we're getting into some serious Tamiya vintage motors. So this is a 1989 Tamiya Dynatech, and it's at 02H. This is a 13 double, estimated 28,900 RPM. That, as you guys will know who are into your motors, that's one of the most sought after and iconic Tamiya vintage motors. And again, to have it with box, full instructions, just makes it rather special. Right, here's one of my most prized motors. That's a brand new Palmer Cyclone modified. Again, got this motor because I had one back in the day, although it wasn't a modified. I had the stock one, but it was in the same style with the decal and the blue end bell. Very cool thing to have. I've got an estimated age of 1988 for this motor, and again, I don't actually know the winding. Could be round about a 14 double, round about 30,000 RPM, but just such a cool thing to have. You know, I mean, you can imagine how hard these things are to get, and to get a brand new one it's a win-win for me. I'm really chuffed I've got that one. And then back at 1988, we've got the first Tamiya Dynatech motor, which is the 01R. So this is a 19 turn single, round about 25,000 RPM. And again, we're now getting to extremely collectible motors. It's not brand new, but it's in excellent condition, again with box and instructions. Right, 3 motors left to show you. So from 1986, we have the Tamiya Techni Gold. This is a 21 single, estimated around about 19,000 RPM. Without doubt, 100% the most iconic motor Tamiya have ever done. Doesn't mean it's a great motor in itself, but as you know, that is such a sought after motor. Luckily, they're not that rare. There's plenty about, but to get a minter like this, you would definitely struggle. I think this is unused, and obviously we've got not the box it came with of that particular motor, but I have the box and instructions and the tools for it, which just makes it mega cool. And then second from last motor up is a 1985 Tamiya Techni tuned. This is a 27 single and round about 17,200 RPM, and it's a minter. These motors are hard to get now, and you are going to pay top dollar for them if you find a nice one. But yeah, that is mega cool. And finally, last up is my 1984 Tamiya Techni Power motor. This is a 23 single, and knocks out about 20,300 RPM. That's my oldest motor I have, 1984, guys. That is just ridiculous. And again, as you've seen the previous two, to have that with the Techni Tuned and the Techni Gold, have them all together in one collection is just amazing. Right, next up, quickly now, I'll get that display case built up. Right, and that's that built up. Again, cheap as chips, but I think it's going to look absolutely outstanding down in the cabinets. And it's pretty strong as well, because obviously there's going to be a fair bit of weight in these mortars. But, you know, together as a display, this has not cost a lot of money at all. The motors did, but these little acrylic pieces. Anyway, let's get this transferred downstairs, so we'll figure out what we're going to do. Right, so my plan is, I've got obviously 4 cabinets in a row, but because the 2 middle ones, I've got these sheets taken out, they're not at full strength, whereas this corner one is going to be stronger. So what I'm going to have to do is move a super astute out and that egress body shell, and this is where the motors are going to go in this one. Plus it'll get the full effect of the light as well. So yeah, let's move that car first. So obviously it's pretty hard for the camera to pick up, but that's the shelf. The new acrylic shelving's perfect for one IKEA Detolf cabinet. It's not going as far back as it should, because it's springing off against a big wig box, but obviously it's got no weight on it yet. So as I get a bit of weight on it, we'll push it a little bit further back. So my plan is to initially get the boxes, the Tamiya boxes, on the top shelf, and then those particular motors on the second shelf. I want all the sort of cream of the crop together. Right, we're starting to take shape now. Now unfortunately I hope to get 6 motors across, but obviously with the magnets that can't be done. So yeah, 5's kind of a perfect spacing, to be honest. So yeah, we've got the cream of the crop up there. Sorry, the cat's here, annoying. And then obviously we've got the boxes at the top. So now on the second shelf, we'll get the other Tamiya motors set up. Well, I actually thought I'd have more room in there, but it's getting quite tight, as you can see. But that's the 10 motors in with the boxes behind. So I've actually only got 15 of the Zippo acrylic holders. I've got more on order, but I actually have 20 motors. So all I can do for now is just put the third row in. But I was hoping space-wise that we'd get some down the sides and what have you. Now, I think when I get them, I've got a gap here to this glass, so I can move that all the way over, and that might allow me to get a few more in. I don't want to put motors sort of everywhere else in this collection. I just want them all in one place. Anyway, let's get that last 5 in position. Well, yeah, that looks mega cool. I'm just a little bit surprised about the space it's taken, because I've got another 5 motors to fit in there at some point when those stands arrive. It can't go any further back, so we've only got the sides. So yeah, a little bit of a problem to get them all together. I'm sure we'll figure something out. Maybe I'll do something different with the boxes, and then that'll give us the 5th shelf to put the last 5 motors, and then yeah, do something with the boxes. But I don't know what I can do, because the boxes for me are one of the most important type things. So let's just close this door, because it lights them up a little bit better. Wow, I am very happy with that, I have to say. That is epic. Yeah, so we've got 5 motors left, and we've got 1 more that's going to get posted to me soon, and that'll be it, I think, because I'm not after a huge collection of motors by any stretch of imagination. But yeah, that's awesome. Very, very cool. We do need to get a battery collection at one point. I want the 6 volt Tamiya battery, I want the 7.2 humped, I want the 8.4 gold power, and one of the gold heat shrinked gold racing packs, the SCR packs. That'd be absolutely awesome. But yeah, sorry, I'm just getting a little bit carried away here, guys, because it's the first time I've seen them all together and lit correctly and what have you, and that just looks absolutely superb. Well, I really enjoyed that. That is class, I've got to say. There's a thing that I never said at the beginning of the video where, and it's not something new for me, I've always had to display things. And I don't know why that is. I couldn't have 10 cars that are, when you don't use them, they're in tubs and they're put away and you can't see them. I can't do that. Probably one of the biggest enjoyments for me in this whole hobby is actually looking at them in a display format. I've always been like that. It's costly, I understand, and it's, you know, you've got to have space to do it. But I honestly, I love it. It's such an enjoyment for me. So just a couple of things to go through. Obviously, we've got 5 motors left, and we've got 1 motor on the way, which is a rather special Demon motor, which I've got links to from back in the day. And we're waiting for the rest of the stands, but even when they turn up, I'm not too sure how we'll fit it in, but we'll do that at a later date. I'll also do another up-to-date collection video in a couple of weeks for you guys, because you've been seeing the cars weekly getting finished now. So once I've shown you the last one, or where I'm up to, then I'll just do a quick full collection video and show you what we've got and what's to do as well. And also, if anyone's still watching, if anyone's got any of the vintage Tamiya batteries that you would like to donate to me, please hit me up. Now, I know that's really cheeky, but yeah, I would love another another battery collection. And I don't want many. I just want the vintage 6V and 7.2 humpback, the Gold Power, which you can still buy actually, or you could up until not so long ago, and maybe a couple of the really good nice racing packs. I'd love to get another acrylic stand and just do a little battery collection. Not too many, like 5 maximum. But if anyone's got any of those batteries kicking around in good condition, they have to be nice to display, yeah, please hit me up and we'll see if we can sort something out. That'd be awesome. So I think that's about it. I've been waiting to do this video for ages, and obviously the camera and the lighting downstairs is not picking up just how boom it is. But yeah, that's rather special, and that's the best motor collection I've ever had. And again, I'm not thinking of adding to it. There's a lot of cash there, and I'm just happy I've got all the vintage with the boxes. That's mega cool. There's the other 2 black Actor Power touring car motors I'd love to add to it, but you know, you're probably looking at about 250 quid for those 2 motors together. It's never ending, is it? Anyway, I'll shut up. I'm going down back. I'm going to make a coffee and then go downstairs and have a look at them. So once again, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If this is the first time you've seen what I do, if you could please maybe consider liking and subscribing to support us. And if you do that, smash that notification bell for our weekly videos. And as always, happy ass seeing.